Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all having a beautiful week so far. Those of you who consistently watch my channel may have noticed that I took a couple days off from posting. Thank you so much for allowing me this time and space. I was really feeling a lot of the heaviness of the energies moving through that I'm sure many of you were feeling collectively as well. So I was kind of listening to my own intuition and taking this time to just rejuvenate my mind and clear my energy so that I could bring clearer, better messages to you all in this video. What I'm going to be doing today is a twin flame energy reading, an energy check-in for anyone who might need it right now, because I feel this pull within me telling me intuitively that there are many of you out there listening who have been yearning for a little bit of guidance right now. And so often that guidance is already within you, and that yearning you're feeling as you externally seek for these readings or videos from readers is your intuition guiding you into the kind of validation, confirmation, and the messages you need to receive, not from the reader themselves, but from your own self, from your higher self, and as a twin flame, from your twin flame's higher self, because as twin flames, so much communication goes on that higher level. We are always in this energetic dance, in this 5D, this fifth dimension communication that sometimes gets really scrambled when we translate it into the cold, hard 3D reality of our verbal communication. So I hope that this reading brings you some kind of clarity that you need right now, especially in regards to your twin flame. I'm not sure yet what kinds of messages will come through in this reading. I'm really going to just let myself be guided intuitively and by spirit to channel for you whatever you may need to hear right now. As I always say at the beginning of my readings, remember that I do channel many specific messages. Those of you who watch me know that sometimes these are hyper specific. And the reason for this is because as I do these collective readings, I feel a lot of different types of energy coming through. And there are many things that I know maybe even just one specific person may need to hear. So I hope that you can understand that and know that not every message that comes through may be intended specifically for you. And that's okay. Just take whatever resonates with you and leave everything else, always using your own intuition as your perfect compass, as the guiding force of your life, guiding you along this spiritual journey. Also, for those of you who watch my channel, or maybe you're new and you're resonating with me already, and if that's the case, I really hope you'll consider subscribing to this channel, joining our community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. I started out just doing podcast videos, talking style videos on here, but lately I've been also creating tarot videos and energy updates for twin flames and for the collective. So do let me know if these style videos resonate with you and if you'd like to hear more of them in the future. Before we begin, I would also like to share that I've created a new moon meditation subliminal track. Many of you already know about subliminals and are already members on my subliminal site, so bear with me as I explain this. But for those of you who are new or who might not be familiar, subliminals are affirmations tracks, but the affirmations are embedded within other meditation sounds and frequencies, and this is incredibly powerful because since these messages are hidden or masked from the conscious mind cannot block them, cannot gatekeep them. Because we have to understand the brain as two parts, the conscious and the subconscious. And while it's the subconscious truly driving us forward, motivating us, it's the part of our brain that causes us to naturally feel happy, confident, energetic, motivated to our goals. It's the part of us that stores our intuition. It's the part of us that leads us perfectly down this path to all of our goals, dreams, and desires. But so often, we have within the subconscious mind all of these deeply rooted negative beliefs and ideas and understandings about the world that prevent us from being motivated, from feeling this natural joy, this natural happiness, from receiving this natural connection and abundance. So subliminals are a way to bypass that conscious filter of the mind and unlock the subconscious mind so that essentially we can harness this 95% of our brain, this power of the subconscious, toward any goal, dream, or desire that we may have. I've created a website on which I have over 100 subliminals for all areas of life. So as you can see on the screen, I've created subliminals for physical body changes like appearance changes, for mood shifts like confidence, happiness, energy, intelligence, creativity, for material manifestations like money, abundance, fame, success. But specifically for those of you listening who are twin flames, I've created an entire section of subliminals dedicated entirely to you. Specifically today, with it being a new moon, I recommend to anyone listening to this and resonating with this, check out my brand new moon subliminal. This is designed to really clear and ground your energy, specifically at this unique time. You can use this during any new moon, and I also have one designed for the full moon. So those of you who are members, be sure to check out during any specific moon lunar cycle the subliminals I have available to help you manifest, to clear your energy, to ground yourself, and to move with the energy of that time in a productive, healing, and rejuvenating way. The link to this new moon subliminal will be in the pinned comment as well as the description box of this video. Okay, so I want to begin by letting you know exactly when this new moon is. So the new moon is happening on February 11th at 11:08 Pacific Standard Time, which is 2:08 Eastern Standard Time. Wherever you live in the world, you can translate that into your time zone. But what you also need to know is that you will feel the energies of the new moon prior to it and after it, because when energy shifts, it's often very slow moving. It doesn't happen immediately, instantly, all at once. It often begins long before these so-called cycles, in this case the lunar cycle, and we continue to feel the residual effects sometimes long after. Usually this means that you can start feeling the energy in a powerful way a few days before that particular lunar cycle, and you will continue to feel it a few days after. Again, that's still just a very general time frame. So for twin flames specifically, I also want to tell you that I always light a candle. And as I lit the candle for today's session, I noticed that at first it was burning very, very slow. The flame was noticeably low, much, much lower than it normally is. And this surprised me because normally this candle is burning very quickly and the flame is very big right when I light it. And I feel that this already is setting the tone for this session and perhaps for what you are feeling during this new moon. I feel that this slow burning candle represents the very slow moving, even stagnant energies that some of you have been feeling at this time. Maybe some of you even feel as though your light is going out. as though, wow, I just felt goosebumps. I know someone is feeling this, as though maybe the light is going out of your eyes, that expression that you're losing some part of yourself, that some part of you is waning away, just like the wax on the candle melts away. You may feel as though you are experiencing some kind of inner death, some kind of inner transformation. And new moons are actually a time of new cycles of rebirth. And I feel that many of you, this would surprise you to hear, because what you've been experiencing lately has felt more like some kind of death, some kind of ending. And I feel like you already need to know that with birth comes pain. We see this in the human cycles of childbirth. And this pain brings forth new life, brings forth something magnificent, something that will grow. And I feel as though within your twin flame connection, you've experienced some kind of a death, and you feel as though it's the end because you are feeling all of this pain. And the ego translates pain as death, pain in the moment as a permanent ending. But the ego, in your case, if this is resonating with you, is actually confused. It is confusing this pain with death, when this pain is actually signifying a birth, a rebirth, a new beginning. I'm not sure specifically what this applies to, if this is within your twin flame connection or if this is just individually within your life. Although as a twin flame, obviously those things are very interconnected. This connection isn't just about love and romance. It's deeply integrated with every aspect of our being and of our lives and of ourselves, and it moves with the cycles of our own life. It shifts as we shift within. This connection shifts and changes as well. So I noticed as I was shuffling this first deck, this energy oracle cards deck, that 4 cards fell out. So I'm going to take that as a sign that these are the 4 cards that we should use to begin today's session. And then I may pull other cards as needed. Okay, so let's see what these cards are. Okay. So the first card I pulled for you is Storm Warning. This to me really reflects what I was just saying, that I feel as though there has been a lot of pain in your past. On this card, there is a tornado that is destroying everything around it. There is darkness, there's lightning. I feel for many of you, this storm was an emotional storm that was in the past, some kind of serious upheaval. And I feel for some of you, it may have had a trigger, but I am feeling for many of you, there was no obvious trigger to this, which may have been what led you to look for new moon videos, or for this video specifically, because you intuitively knew that this was some kind of energy, that this was some kind of energetic shift. And for some reason, I heard the word construction. So I saw in my mind one of those, I can't remember what they're called, a wrecking ball, that's what I'm thinking of, that tears down an old building. And I feel as though this storm that came through was more so a wrecking ball for you, although your ego couldn't recognize that at the time. And this heavy moving energy was tearing down so much that you'd build up. I heard specifically what the ego had built up. So imagine that the ego builds up in its life these huge skyscrapers. They're magnificent, but I see in my mind that they're empty, that they're cold. I see that someone built up some kind of success materially. Maybe it was a marriage, maybe it was a successful career, but I am hearing that someone was a working professional. Maybe you even worked in a corporate building or a skyscraper of some kind, and you felt, from the ego's perspective, very important. You had this secure 9-to-5 job, you had these benefits, this salary, but this wrecking ball of energy came in and tore it all down. And the ego is screaming because it doesn't understand why this building, why this magnificent material success had to come down. But although the ego sees it as magnificent, you saw it from a soul perspective as cold and empty. I see this building as being abandoned in a metaphorical sense, that you were alone in there. There was no one there with you. It was just you. And you felt from an ego, through the eyes of the ego, you felt successful, but at the same time, you felt very empty, very alone. It was hollow. And then naturally, through the cycles of your life, maybe before you were even ready, on your path, all of this began to crumble. And again, this may not be a 9-to-5 job or this kind of career. This could be related to anything that the ego has built up in your life that is now coming crashing down or has come tumbling down. I heard for some of you, this is actually something in the far past. And this could be something that you've just found yourself ruminating on for some reason. At this time, you've been reflecting, or your ego has become a little bit nostalgic for what you left behind, wondering if you were making the right choice. And for others of you, this has been a recent destruction, or it's still going on. So keep in mind that when I speak of this energy, really, from a soul level, the past, present, future all exist simultaneously. So what I'm really trying to read into are the Akashic records, that energy all around us that knows no time or space. So what I'm speaking about could have happened in your far past. It could be happening right now, or it could happen in the future. And also, this is a side note, but know that whenever you reflect deeply and very emotionally on something in your far past, because of the way that these Akashic records operate and the way energy operates, you're actually bringing this far past into your present. When you're feeling it in your body and your emotions, you're actually, in a sense, manifesting it again in your present moment energetically. I don't know why I felt the need to share that. I feel someone needed to know that. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this card for now. Maybe we'll come back to it. That's all I really have to say here. But the second card that fell out was appreciation, but in the reverse. So on this card, I see a woman holding a rose, and she looks very confident, very regal. She's standing in the midst of a garden. I want to read a little bit about this card because I'm not really quite sure how this card may apply to your situation with your twin flame. Okay, so choosing gratitude. The appreciation card reversed is warning you that you're missing some important opportunities. You've lost your sense of gratitude and have gotten caught up in the prickly brambles of negativity and possibly even despair. Stop focusing on what you don't have, even if it seems like a lot. Instead, find something to appreciate about yourself and your life. Okay, so what I'm really feeling with this card is that not so much a kind of that you should judge yourself for feeling this lack of gratitude, but actually the opposite, that you should be appreciating yourself, that this appreciation is actually a self-appreciation, and in the reverse, what you are lacking right now is an appreciation for how far you've come. I feel that at this time, perhaps with this new moon, with the energies of this ending and rebirth, you found yourself ruminating on a past, something that you left behind, perhaps even something that was destroyed by this tornado of change, and you're being asked to turn that appreciation inward, to see how far you've come, to see that these things that ended, wow, I just felt in a powerful way. For some of you, this was a relationship that ended. Maybe with Valentine's Day coming up, you found yourself reflecting on a past relationship with an ex or someone that you were very close with. And I feel for some of you, this could have been a soulmate. This could have even been someone that you lived a very beautiful past life with. But in this lifetime, after connecting with this person, you realized that there was this higher connection, this twin flame connection that was your path. And you had to exit this soulmate connection, this ex connection, in order to make room for your twin flame. And you knew this, but I feel as though your twin flame connection for some of you still hasn't fully manifested or come in the physical in the way that the ego wants to see it. Again, this won't apply to all of you, but I feel that around Valentine's Day especially, okay, maybe this is why I was supposed to talk about the past, present, future and the Akashic records, because some of you need to know that So with dates on the calendar, when you come up on a date, have you ever had the experience of, let's say it's your birthday or Christmas, have you ever felt as though you are getting very strong flashbacks to things that happened on that date years ago, even if you forgot consciously about those memories? For me, I've sometimes found that in the fall, many years ago, I went through something that was very, very difficult. It was a very traumatic breakup from an emotionally harmful relationship with a karmic partner in my life. It was my first serious relationship, and it was very painful. And I went through a period of feeling very down during that time. And sometimes on certain days that really impacted me emotionally years ago in the past, in the fall, I will feel that energy again. So I feel some of you are feeling this around Valentine's Day. Maybe with this person from your past, you had very happy memories, and so they're kind of resurfacing for you energetically, and you may not even be sure why you are thinking back to these things you've left behind. For some of you, I am strongly feeling it's an ex, it's a person. And I want you to know that you are seeing this through rose-colored glasses, because what's happening is you are experiencing this past energy with this person. But because the mind often forgets the pain, forgets the suffering, we tend to forget those things consciously, but store them in our body and our energy. So you're forgetting consciously, when you remember all of these things, all of the reasons that you felt yourself being pushed forward into this twin flame relationship, and all you're remembering are the good times, and it's causing you to feel almost sad or empty or uncertain, or maybe at times you've wondered, am I on the right path? Some of you listening may be even feeling a kind of runner energy coming up within you because of this nostalgia, wondering, should I go back to this person? Should I just abandon this twin flame path altogether? And I don't know what else to say about that right now, but I do feel that that's the energy some of you are feeling, and I want to explain why you may be feeling that way. And again, these messages get so specific, so this may just be applying to one of you who found this video and who need to hear it. But I'm hearing that the cure for these feelings of ego-based nostalgia and lack and even fear or uncertainty, the cure for this is self-appreciation. So however this is for you, but I'm feeling for some of you gratitude, making gratitude lists of things you love about yourself. Write love letters to yourself. Or for those of you who really feel like this is a deep level sense of uncertainty, sense of loss, sense of lack, really find a way to reconnect with your soul self, to center yourself. Because as I often say, these feelings of fear and uncertainty, sometimes the reason they feel so natural and so unavoidable, inevitable, is because these feelings become very stored deeply within our energy field, specifically within the 7 chakras. So I feel that many of you are also being guided to energy clearing, whatever that means for you. Specifically, my favorite tool for deep level energy clearing within the 7 chakras is using binaural beat frequencies and subliminal affirmations. So I've actually created a 7 chakra twin flame clearing subliminal. And I'm feeling guided to share that because I know many of you are using it and seeing profound transformations and results. And for those of you who aren't yet a member on my site, you can access this subliminal and try it out completely free for 7 days. Just see how it begins to shift and impact your energy field and clear out any feelings of fear or doubt or negativity that you may be storing within the energy body. So if you'd like to explore that 7 chakra clearing subliminal, I will also be leaving that along with the new moon subliminal I mentioned earlier in both the pinned comment and the description box of this video. So I'm feeling guided to go ahead and move on to the next card. So this card is Healer of the Ages, and it was in the reverse position again. So this is someone who looks very powerful, who is holding what appears to be fire in 2 outstretched hands, who has this radiance about them. And And I just got goosebumps because I feel as though I'm describing you, but the reason that it was reversed is I feel as though you aren't fully aware or fully stepping into your own healing power. And I just heard externalizing. I feel as though some of you are externalizing your own healing. You are looking to something else, someone else, to validate you. And I heard some of you, it's your twin flame. You're looking to your twin flame to do the healing work, to be your healer, not realizing that you have all the power within you. Not realizing or forgetting because of that soul amnesia we have that you... Sorry, I just felt another message coming through, but I'm going to wait on that just a second. Forgetting that you are this all-powerful healing being, not just when it comes to healing others, but you can direct your own powerful healing energy inward. You can shift your own energy, and when you do this, you will shift the balance of your connection. I heard stuck. Some of you feel stuck because you aren't utilizing your own healing energy. You're forgetting that all of the power is within you. Now, the message that I wanted to say is that I felt very strongly describing this, that in a past life, this could just be one of you, but one of you was a powerful healer for your community. So I'm hearing many different things. For some of you, this was a doctor in the early to mid 1900s, back when medicine was a little bit set back and you had so much passion for your work and trying to heal your patients. And this work was your life's work. And in fact, I feel as though if this is you, that you came from a very, very poor family. This could have been around the Depression. And you desperately wanted to be a healer and you wanted to be a doctor, but that your parents were against this decision because no one in your family had been college educated. You were the first one to pursue this kind of education in this past life, and it was a huge accomplishment for you, and you threw yourself into your work, even to the point of burnout at times, and you were sad that you couldn't help people more, which is why you reincarnated in this life, because in this lifetime, everything is further advanced medicine, and not just medicine, but our understanding of energy. In a past life, you may have been a doctor or some kind of medical healer. You may have focused very solely on science, on cold, hard scientific evidence and research, and you completely ignored the energetic side to our beings and to holistic health and healing. So in this lifetime, you really feel called to focus on the more esoteric elements of healing. And by healing, I don't just mean physical illness. I mean healing traumas within, healing the energy within. And you have to remember that it all begins with you. I heard light worker too. Anyone who resonates with this, you came here to realize that you are a light worker, that you always have been a light worker in life after life. And this has manifested itself in different ways, in different circumstances, but that this is an ancient tradition of your soul to heal others, to bring light and healing to others through different capacities, and that you are right on path in this life, and that it all begins with learning to heal yourself, to turn that powerful light working energy inward, to transmute your own darkness into light. I do want to read a little bit about this card to see if there's anything else we can glean from this before moving on to the fourth card. When reversed, the Healer of the Ages indicates that you've been feeling extremely out of sorts or even upside down in your own life. You may be in the midst of some physical problem or just feeling as though you're losing energy, but this card is telling you that there are deeper levels of healing that need to be addressed. Take some time to regroup and to put your own healing first. What did I just say, guys? This in the reverse is really a self-healing card. This is guiding you. I feel many of you are either dealing with some kind of physical problem, although I feel for a lot of you it's an unnamed problem. You're experiencing strange symptoms of lethargy, low energy, feeling tired, feeling lost, feeling this physical kind of drain on your body. And I want you to know, for those of you resonating with this, if you're feeling very physically tired, very physically unmotivated, I heard some of you are, with the new year, maybe you really tried to implement healthier eating or a new exercise routine or something like that, but you feel like you've lost all motivation for your own physical health. And I want you to know the reason for that is actually very energetic, because on an energetic level, you've been processing a lot of storms, like we said, begin with this first card, and what you need to know is some of these storms may have been from deep into your past. Sometimes our soul, our higher self, decides when we are at a point of feeling healed, feeling like we're moving forward, feeling strong, decides to resurface these very old traumas that are still in need of healing. So this could be confusing to some of you because you could have felt a burst of energy or motivation with the new year or with January. You may have seen some success or growth or forward progress. And this month in February and around this new moon, you may feel as though you are backsliding, but you're not. What you need to know is that your soul is simply choosing to resurface these very old wounds and traumas for the purpose of now healing them, transcending them forever. And some of them aren't even your own. They are generational traumas and curses. They come from generations and generations of pain that is in need of healing. You are the light worker. You are the transmuter of that darkness into light, the transmuter of that pain into beauty. And it's time that you recognize that you can heal yourself within, that you can shift your energy within, and that this is a very powerful and needed work, not just individually, but for the collective. The work you are doing on yourself is very important and very powerful. So the final card I pulled is Happy Family, but again, this is in the reverse. So instantly I got a message for at least one of you, which is that you come from an unhappy family in some way, because again, this is reversed. And somehow this is coming up from you because you are feeling very alone, because you've left some of this behind. So for some of you, I'm feeling as though, again, this is your literal physical family, that you had to distance yourself from your physical family in some way because you realized that you needed this time and space for healing, for growth, and that these connections, some of them could have been karmic connections. These connections at this time for you were too difficult, too draining energetically to have in your life, and you had to step away from some of them, take a breath from some of them. Again, this isn't for all of you. For some of you, I also feel that this could be friends that you left behind, past friendships that were very karmic in nature, friends that were very negative. Maybe these friends were really dragging you down when it came to something that was very important to you. I saw someone holding their heart in their hand, and another person asking for their heart, but they couldn't give it away because their heart was healing, because their heart had been crushed in the past, had been broken in the past by people telling them that whatever path they were on wasn't important, almost gaslighting them, but with spiritual purpose on a spiritual level, telling them that they were crazy or delusional for thinking that they had this higher purpose, this higher calling, whether this is in your career, building a more soul-centered career or business for yourself, or whether this is maybe you just left something behind, like with the first card we talked about, quitting some kind of job, leaving some kind of relationship. Maybe some of your friends or family have been discouraging you from these powerful spiritual choices you've had to make in your life, and because of this you've had to leave them behind, and you've been feeling a longing for that kind of connection. With this card, there's a family holding hands on a beach and a rainbow overhead. But for some reason in the reverse, I see this as you looking on to this kind of connection and feeling a kind of a homesickness for a home you've never had. And I want you to know that this feeling of a longing you have is you longing for your soul connections. And when you feel this longing, know that this isn't just some random feeling of sadness. This is actually happening to you because these soul connections are out there for you, and you are making room for them. You are making space for them because you have the courage to leave behind any connections that don't serve you and to step into your higher purpose, your higher connection, your higher calling. And you're being applauded by your guides, by spirit, by the divine for making these powerful choices, by choosing to be alone if that's what it takes to become the person that you know you were destined to be on this earth. And in terms of your twin flame, I saw your twin flame admiring you in that, feeling very magnetically pulled to you in that energy. That is your God or goddess energy, the God force energy moving through you. And your twin flame, whether you are connecting with them physically in the 3D, or whether this connection is still just happening very energetically in the 5th dimension, you need to know that you must have the courage to remain in this space, even if it means being alone, in this space of power, in this space of moving forward into your highest growth, healing, and potential, because there is this invisible magnetism around you that is calling in your twin flame in a deeper way. So for those of you who are already in union with your twin flame or connecting with this person, this will mean a deepening of connection. For those of you who are in separation or who aren't connecting, know that I keep hearing invisible magnetism that you may not realize, that you may, through the ego, just be feeling very alone, very lost, very uncertain. But you are also very powerful at this time. And there is this magnetism around you because twin flames in their natural state, their fully healed, most powerful state, are incredibly magnetic for one another. So even if you aren't seeing the results yet, know that you are calling in your twin flame in a more powerful way than ever before, as long as you remain courageously in this space of growth, of healing, and sometimes of loneliness, of uncertainty. Sometimes that loneliness is the ego screaming, is the ego being transformed. And that loneliness can actually be a sign that you are on the right path. And I just feel that someone really needed to know that. So because this is a twin flame reading, for some reason, I'm feeling really guided to pull some cards from my Lover's Oracle deck. But also for some reason, normally I just pull a few cards, but I really feel like there are some more messages from this Energy Oracle deck. New messages kind of looking ahead beyond the new moon, because I want to provide some kind of hope for those of you who are experiencing this uncertainty, maybe this loneliness. What will the new moon bring collectively to twin flames? What can we expect after this new moon in the month of February? Whoa, okay, that card almost fell out. Okay guys, I pulled one card, and the card I pulled is Victory in the upright position. And I feel that is so perfect, so divinely perfect. In this image, there is a woman who just looks incredibly powerful. She is embodying that goddess energy. And whether you are the divine feminine or the divine masculine, just like I said earlier, I feel you are truly beginning to embody this God force energy, this goddess energy. And I just heard that quote in my head that I've seen sometimes on spiritual Instagram pages. It's that quote that goes, "We are gods, remembering we are gods, remembering we are gods." And I heard that as an indication that some of you need to know that despite all of the pain, all of the loss you've experienced, all of the uncertainty you may even still be feeling right now, you are awakening to the God force energy moving through you, to the limitless power you have at your fingertips. You are stepping into your highest potential, even if at times it feels as though you are backsliding. You are not. These moments of backsliding are you on a soul level being told, okay, you are now strong enough to handle the resurfacing of this very ancient wound, this very ancient trauma. You are healing not just yourself, but generations that never knew the unconditional love that you are now realizing, awakening to, and embodying through this twin flame connection. This card shows a beautiful spirit holding a golden victory wreath, an acknowledgement of your achievement. Success is on its way, and you have a sense of pride in what you've worked to accomplish. The achievement may be a great outer success, or it may be a deep inner change that you've been exerting a lot of effort toward. Enjoy this sense of accomplishment. People expect outer triumph to bring great changes, but often there may still be inner work to do. Let yourself be open to victory on every level now. So what I'm feeling in this card is a prediction for some of you, because I feel as though some of you haven't yet experienced the outward manifestation of this achievement. This is simply an energy for you at this time. But what you're being called to understand is that energy always shifts first, and then manifestations follow after. And at this time, you have been shifting energy in a very powerful way. You have been light working, which is truly just transmuting darkness into light in a very real way. And although you still feel as though at times you are backsliding, at times you are uncertain, you are at this time and within the upcoming days and weeks going to experience the fruits of your efforts. Now, for twin flames specifically, I'm not sure what this will look like for you, so I am going to pull just a few more cards. Spirit, what will this achievement, this change bring about? What will this manifest for twin flames collectively, standing in this courageous energy, standing in power and potential? What kinds of achievements can we expect to see? Okay, I'm gonna pull 3 cards for this. Okay, so the 3 cards I pulled were first the Sun card. The sun brings blessings to the earth. This card portends blessings in your own life as well. Just as the sun nurtures the earth, beginning new life in the spring and summer, this is your time for a new beginning. This is so perfect for the new moon. So staying in your power, in your highest potential, despite being afraid, will bring to you these new beginnings, this rebirth, especially with this new moon energy. And the next card I see is the World card. Expansion, opening up. The man in this picture is looking out over a bay, above which the beautiful sphere of the earth is rotating. This card is reminding you to expand your own vision and contemplate some much broader options. So I feel as though within this card, the earth really represents the material manifestations that are coming to you. I almost see the world at a distance, as though finally the ego is put into perspective and now the world is at your fingertips. That is what I see with this card. I see as though finally these shifts you've been doing energetically are going to manifest as physical, material changes you can touch and feel in this world in a very real way, a tangible way. And the last card I pulled is the Angel of Love. So this card says, tender connections. I already feel as though this really connects both to your twin flame connection as well as to your soul connections. I feel this is reminding what I just said earlier, that when you remain in this space of healing yourself, as you continue to participate in your own inner healing, and be courageous, be unafraid, be fearless, and stepping into your true potential and standing bright and radiating your true self authentically, even though it may scare you, you will attract magnetically not only a deepening of your twin flame connection, but all of those tender soul connections, those soul family, that soul tribe that you long to connect with in this physical world, because all of these connections are magnetically attracted to authenticity. Our soul connections can only be drawn to us when we choose to clear away any parts of ourselves that are inauthentic, that are built on ego. And as we step into this more soulful energy, as we radiate our authentic selves, we then magnetically call in, we literally call in our soulmates, platonic soulmates, our twin flame. Those people who will bring you a deeper sense of connection, not just spiritually, but in a physical way where you can see them, spend time with them, because I feel that many of you have been feeling lonely. And you need to know that, again, loneliness, I'm feeling this again, but just to reiterate, loneliness can sometimes be a sign that you're on the right path. And finally, I'm just going to close out this reading by pulling a message or two from the Lover's Oracle deck. The card I felt pulled to is time. You are trying too hard. Give it time. And I feel specifically here, you need to know that healing takes time. The growth takes time. Yes, I just shared with you all of the magnificent spiritual and physical blessings you're going to experience as you continue this journey. But you also need to know, you need to be patient with yourself. I feel that many of you are being very hard on yourself. You're expecting you to be further along than you are. And you need to know that healing is never linear. It moves in a series of ups and downs, and at times it will feel like backsliding. Be patient with yourself. Give yourself time to heal, time to grow, time to expand. I feel that some of you have a lack mentality when it comes to time. You feel as though, maybe I just heard some of you feel as though you're too old. Know that time is an illusion. Age is an illusion. These are all constructs of the ego. There is plenty of time for you to heal. You are perfectly on time. I just saw someone checking their watch over and over. And I feel metaphorically, some of you feel as though you are checking the time over and over, feeling as though time is moving too fast or running through your fingers, or you aren't productive in a period of time as much as you want to be. But you need to know that you can release this sense of lack mentality when it comes to time. There is an abundance of everything for you, including an abundance of time, and you are perfectly on time to your own healing, growth, and expansion. So I hope that these messages brought you some kind of clarity or gave you something that you needed to hear at this time. I've mentioned a few subliminals throughout this video, both my 7 chakra clearing subliminal for twin flames, as well as my new moon subliminal. So more information on those subliminals will be in the description box and the pinned comment below. You can try out either of these subliminals, as well as any of the more than 100 subliminals I've created completely free for 7 days when you create a trial account on my website. If I resonated with you, please subscribe to this channel. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself. I hope you all have a wonderful new moon, a wonderful rest of your week, and I will talk to you again in the next video.